Several other ones. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. 6 o'clock. Welcome to the regular scheduled meeting of the City Board of Commissioners, May 24. Our pledge is going to be led tonight by Commissioner Flowers, and I'll follow with the invocation. Please join us. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which stands one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Please join us in prayer. Heavenly Father, thank you for allowing us to gather here to do the business of the citizens of the city of Griffin. Keep us united as a team for the betterment of everybody. Make our decisions fair and just in the best interest of everyone. For one Griffin. In your name, amen. All right, we have the approval of the agenda as presented. We have a motion to approve. Mrs. Murray with a motion, Mr. Brock with a second. All in favor of the agenda, please raise your hand. 5-0. First item is citizen comments. At this time, the mayor opens the floor to comments from the audience. Comments should relate to a specific agenda item not listed on the agenda for a public hearing or to a concern within the jurisdiction of the city. Commission meetings serve the purpose of conducting city business and are not a forum for the unlimited expression of opinion. The mayor reserves the rights to limit comments and matters germane to city business and may refer speakers to the city manager or other staff for resolution. With that being said, is there anybody on my left side like to come before the board? Is there anybody on my right side like to come before the board? Okay. Moving into public hearings. Public hearings are conducted to allow public comments on specific advertised issues such as rezoning, ordinances, policy development, operating budgets, and other legislative actions to be considered by the City Commission. First item is to receive comments regarding the proposed budget for fiscal year beginning July 1, 2022 and ending June 30th of 2023. City Manager Jessica O'Connor will address.
Good evening. Thank you all again for a good workshop this morning and the questions and concerns that you shared with us. I did just want to put on the record again this evening, this is our first of 2 public hearings that will have to be in conformance with the law. Public notice information was published in the Griffin Daily News on May 11th, 2022, where we advertised these 2 public hearings, one for right now at 6 p.m. and one for June 14th, 2022 at 6 p.m. as well. On that date, we will also vote on the adoption of the fiscal year ending June 30, 2023 capital and operating budgets on June 14th at 6. If there are any questions, I will certainly entertain them now.
This is a public hearing. At this time, is there anybody in the audience like to come before the board to ask questions, make statements, or have any concerns? Thank you very much, Mr. O'Connor. Moving into item 2 is to receive comments regarding a variance request to reduce street frontage, lot width, and lot area in the Ldrv Sony district for property located at 3 and 4 Terrestrial Court. Director of Planning and Development, Chad Jacobs, will address. I need to give a disclosure that I have represented Mr. and Ms. Dunson on insurance matters in the past with Rivers Insurance and potentially in the future with Holberg Insurance. Go ahead, sir.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. And just one quick correction. This is 3 and 5 Terrestrial Court that we're looking for a variance on. So what the applicant, Mr. Dustin, is requesting here, he's replatting some of his lots that he owns in this area. This is an older subdivision that's zoned low density residential B, which requires a minimum of a ½ acre and a minimum of 80 feet of lot width and road frontage. All of these lots that are in this area are pretty much around the 60 feet wide range in terms of lot width and road frontage. And any type of replatting that you're going to do in this instance, one of the issues that he's trying to correct, there's a landlocked parcel that he's wanting to roll into one of the parcels and get rid of that landlocked parcel. He's doing this for estate planning purposes. There's really no other option than you're going to have to apply for a variance on these because they're grandfathered. And then once you start to move the lot lines around, you're creating new lots. And so he can't conform to the lot widths due to the age of the subdivision that's out there. So staff is recommending approval of the request. So on for lot, which would be essentially 3 and 5 Terrestrial Court, we are recommending approval of the road frontage reduction from 80 feet to 60 feet. And then also recommend approval on the lot minimum reduction from the half acre lot size to 0.216 acre at 5 Terrestrial Court. And with that, I'd be more than happy to answer any questions.
I have
Yes, go ahead.
on the photo, I guess photo map that's provided in the packet that actually shows like the houses.
Yes, ma'am?
There's just one blue square. You see what I'm saying? It's in the,
Oh, that's on the aerial?
yes.
Yes. So that's gonna be where 3 Terrestrial is.
So which one is 5?
5 would be just to the south. I couldn't do 2,
With
it
the
wouldn't let
two
me highlight
structures?
both of them at the same time.
With the 2 structures on it, it's to the south on this photo?
Yes, so the one to the south, actually, that's where the second structure, which is the accessory building in the back, that's going to be placed on with 3 Terrestrial to the north.
This one?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. And so those are going to now be 1. I'm trying to make sure I understand what exactly it is. I see that we're reducing, that we're giving a variance for the setback itself, but we're also combining the 2 lots.
So you're only at 3 Terrestrial, the property lines are moving in and it's absorbing to the rear. If you look behind 5, there's a square back there that's landlocked. That's actually getting absorbed into 3 Terrestrial. Yeah,
That's
so,
gonna go
yes,
to
ma'am.
3,
Yes, ma'am, to the north.
and then what happens to 5? Why is it not going to 5?
5 is decreasing because then the building that's been if you look to the east of that landlocked parcel, you see that accessory building that's there. That's actually going to go into 3 Terrestrial Court as well. And then 5 has gotten smaller.
Are we limited to the size of home that goes on this lot?
Nothing's changing with respect to the homes. Nothing's changing as it relates to that. These are already built out. So nothing's changing to the homes.
Okay.
He's just reconfiguring the property lines.
Okay, come here and just show me, so I can make sure I understand exactly.
And I guess the survey that was in the application.
Yeah, I it wasn't highlighted, okay. So this is gonna go here and come back and catch this piece right here. Is that-
This piece here. Here. This building here. This here. And then the lines that come from here. And then it's on the-
okay. This is not, and then this will just still be a separate piece. for
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
Got it. Got it.
Are there any other questions or comments from commissioners? This is a public hearing at this time. Is there anybody in the audience like to have any questions, comments, or statements regarding this request? Okay. Thank you, Mr. Jacobs. Moving into the consent agenda, if we can take items 3 through 7 in one vote, we have a motion to approve the consent agenda. Mrs. Murray with a motion. Do we have a second? Second by Mr. Tinsley. All in favor of approving the consent agenda, please signal by raising your hand. 6-0. Moving into the regular agenda. First is to consider minutes of the City of Griffin Board of Commissioners regular meeting on May 10, 2022. And Commissioner Tinsley was absent. We have Mr. McCord with a motion. Do we have a second by Mr. Brock? All in favor of item 8, please signal by raising your hand. 5-0-1 with Mr. Tinsley abstaining. Item 9 is consider a variance request to reduce this street frontage, lot width, and lot area in the Ldrv zoning district for property located at 3 and 5 Terrestrial Court with the recommendations from staff. Mrs. Murray with a motion, Mr. McCord with a second. All in favor, please signal by raise your hand. 6-0. Item 10 is consider an intergovernmental agreement with Griffin Housing Authority for the acquisition of property located at the corner of East Solomon Street and North 5th Street. Mr. McCord with a motion. Do we have a second?
Second.
Ms. Flowers with a second. All in favor, please signal by raise your hand. 6-0. Item 11 is consider the purchase of 18 tasers and taser supplies in the amount of $59,279.62 from Axon Enterprises, Inc., sole source provider. So moved. Mr. Tinsley with a motion, second by Ms. Murray. All in favor, please signal by raise your hand. 6-0. Item 12 is consider the purchase of 4 Ford Interceptor police vehicles in the total amount of $135,600 from Brennan Motor Company, single source provider, and amend the budget accordingly. Mr. Tinsley with a motion, second by Mrs. Murray. All in favor, please signal by raising your hand. 6-0. Item 13 is consider a task order from the master service agreement with Paragon Consulting Group, Inc. for City of Griffin Transfer Station, paving the amount of $5,000 to provide construction documents and bidding documents for the paving of the transfer station, access drives, and parking lot.
So
Mr. McCord with a motion. Do we have a second?
Second.
Second by Mr. Tinsley. All in favor, please signal by raising your hand. 6-0. Item 14 is consider the purchase of 2 model 26-2 D3 CAT skid steers in the amount of $104,954. Price includes $4,304 for a 3-year preventive maintenance warranty from Yancey Brothers, Inc. through Sourcewell State Purchasing Contract and amend the budget accordingly. In addition, consider declaring as surplus unit number 913 a New Holland skid steer and New 920 a CAT skid steer. We have a motion for the purchase and surplus. Mr. McCord with a motion, second by Mrs. Murray. All in favor, please signal by raising your hand. 6-0. Item 15 is consider a contract with VHB Inc. in the amount of $9,935 for biological monitoring in the Heads Creek and Shoal Creek watershed. Motion approved. Mrs. Murray with a motion. Second by Mr. Tinsley. All in favor, please signal by raising your hand. 6-0. Item 16 is to consider a contract between VA Power and the City of Griffin for the sale of up to 4,000 megawatts of excess power to the cities of Evergreen, Alabama, and Hartford, Alabama. Motion by Mrs. Murray, second by Mr. Tinsley. All in favor, please signal by raising your hand. 6-0 for the sale. Item 17 is consider a resolution for the Georgia Fund Loan GF 2020019 to modify the loan amount to a total of $14 million from the Georgia Environmental Finance Authority for the Hedge Creek Dam modification for the Department of Watershed Management. Do we have a motion to approve? Mrs. Murray with a motion. Do we have a second? Second by Mr. Tinsley. All in favor, please signal by raising your hand. 6-0. Item 18 is considered license agreement for an art mural installation at the property owned by Three Rivers Regional Commission and commonly known as 120 North Hill Street, Griffin, Georgia, on the wall facing East Slates Avenue. Motion by Ms. Murray. Do we have a second?
Second.
Ms. Flowers with a second. All in favor, please signal by raising your hand. 6-0. Item 19 is consider a contract for mural art installation with Jaleel Wimbush for a mural to be located at the property commonly known as 120 North Hill Street, Griffin, Georgia, on the wall facing East Slayton Avenue. We have a motion to approve. Ms. Murray with the motion. Do we have a second?
Second.
Mr. McCord with a second. All in favor, please signal by raising your hand. 6-0, mural. Item 20 is consider adoption of the Utility Incentive Program resolution provided for updated terms of the city of Griffin. I didn't see the word cut off. Okay, I got you. City of Griffin Utility Incentive Program. Motion to approve. Ms. Murray with a motion. Do we have a second?
Second.
Mr. Tinsley with a second. All in favor, please signal by raising your hand. 6-0. Item 21 is appoint a voting delegate for the annual membership business meeting, the Georgia Municipal Association at the 2022 GMA Annual Convention in Savannah, Georgia. And I plan to be there at that.
I nominate
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Motion to nominate Mayor Holberg as the delegate. We have a motion to close nominations.
you.
Mr. Tinsley with a motion. Do we have a second? Second by Ms. Murray. All in favor of closing nomination and appointing Mayor Holberg as a voting delegate to the GMA convention, please signal by raising your hand. 6-0. And that gets the evening done. So city manager report.
All right, thank you all. Again, a big thanks to the department directors, to Mr. Schwab and Ms. Thompson for their help with this budget this year. It was not an easy one, so I'm glad to have that sort of behind us and hope that the June 14th adoption will be just as smooth. One thing I want to make sure I do very quickly is introduce, is introduce Jeremy Stratton. Jeremy, if you'll stand up for me. Jeremy is our new economic development director as of last Wednesday. So I'm very glad to have him. He has jumped right in and really sort of taken over down there, and I could not be more thankful for that because it has been a little bit of a challenge to try and do that in public works at the same time. So I'm glad to have him here, and I'll let him tell you a little bit about himself real quickly, and I'll just have a couple more dates to remind you of.
All right, good evening.
Good evening, sir.
It is really a pleasure to be here. I'm very glad I'm here, very thankful. This is a great community. I look forward to working with everybody. We got a great office. They've helped me along a long ways. Also, I'm very excited working with all the department directors. They've been very helpful as well. My experience, I've worked about 20 years in economic development and recruited a lot of industry. Worked in the downtown in Danville, Virginia. That's where I got my experience working with Main Street programs and bringing new business to the downtown area. So I got a lot of experience there. The plan is here to get acclimated, and then we got a lot of buildings that we're looking at, and so we're looking at properties that we can do development on. And so we're excited about that as well. If you have any questions, I'm more than happy to ask.
Welcome, sir.
Well, thank you.
I serve on our DDA, so I guess I'll be getting to work with you.
Yeah, I look forward to working with you as well.
We're glad to have you on the team, and we got a lot of great things happening, and look forward to you enhancing the opportunities to create economic development and create jobs and better our community.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, Ms. O'Connor.
Yes, sir. One last thing. Don't forget, this week is open enrollment. If you have any benefits with us that you want to change, you actually have to go in and change them. They don't just go over and over each year. So make sure you do that. And make sure also that your GMA invitations that you have for different things, if you haven't let me know about RSVPs or you have a reservation that needs to be changed, just update myself or Ms. Bartholomew, please.
Mr. Whalen?
I want to congratulate Jessica and her team on the budget this year. I think the presentation this morning was short and indirect, as you could ask for, and you got a good package. That's all.
Thank you, Mr. Whalen. Mr. Brock?
No comment, sir.
Mrs. Murray?
Again, I just want to comment on, Ms. O'Connor, your budget presentation is probably one of the best since my start times. I thoroughly understood it. It was very short, and I loved the overall presentation, so thanks for all that you do.
Commissioner Flowers?
No comment.
Commissioner Tinsley? Nothing there. Commissioner Court?
It's graduation season. I just hope everybody remember all of our graduates to be safe, honorees, graduates, everything we got going on. And I hate to bring up bad news, but before I came to the meeting, just a tragedy that happened out in Texas of 14 elementary school children being killed. Just continue to pray for our country that we can get that type of stuff out of our lives collectively. So it's just sad and disheartening to see that, and just make sure we're staying safe in our community. Thanks for what the police is doing as well in the community. Thank you.
Thank you. So we've got June Jam coming up on 6/11. Sir Toot Horton will be the featured band. We're working on the sand's going to be dumped, so a lot of fun time. So tables are still, we got a few tables still available at $125 a pop. So feel free to come out and help set up during the day if anybody would like to join us. Also, on a personal note, I want to celebrate, shout out to my son, John Marsh Holberg, now 2nd Lieutenant United States Army. He graduated Georgia with a finance and risk management degree, and so he reports to Fort Benning July 1 to be an armor officer. So excited about that. And Doug Holberg is no longer Rivers Insurance. He is now Holberg Insurance Agency LLC. So I'm officially grown up and moving out on my own. So a lot of changes in the Holberg family. And we're rolling in. So with that being said, what's that?
Did rates go up?
We talked about rates this morning, and Brady will tell you why things keep going up.
I'll make a.
We have a motion to adjourn by Mr. McCord, we have a second by Mr. Tinsley. Thank you all for being here tonight, and thank you, staff and citizens.
Congratulations.